very happy Women's Day to everyone celebrating. My name is Sandhya Shridhar. Although I'm a scientist by profession, I'm a fully trained classical dancer in Odissi dance, trained under Swapnakalpa Dasgupta. And coming from a family of dancers, classical Indian dance is a huge passion of mine and a big part of my life. Therefore, I'm very honored and privileged to be able to speak with someone who is a legendary dancer that has dedicated her entire life to the practice and preservation of the beautiful form of Bharatanatyam. We're very lucky to be joined by Srimati Gayatri Keshavan. Namaskaram, Gayatri ma'am. So to give a brief introduction to Gayatri ma'am's very colourful career, Srimati Gayatri Keshavan, a Bharatanatyam dancer, teacher and composer, is the director of Academy of Bharatanatyam in Bangalore, an institute founded and established in 1948 by her parents, Sri T.K. Narayan and Jayalakshmi Narayan. A Government of India Scholarship Awardee in 1973, Gayatri ma'am is blessed to have her parents as her gurus in Bharatanatyam and Carnatic music. The Narayans were direct disciples of Sri Meenakshi Sundaram Pillai and Sri Muthukumara Pillai, the highly revered teachers of the Pandanallur style of Bharatanatyam. A career spanning over 50 years, Gayatri ma'am has extensive experience of dancing, teaching and choreographing several dance productions that have been performed by her students. She was also a faculty member for the Friends World Program of Long Island University in USA for nearly a decade. Gayatri ma'am was awarded the National Vocational Excellence and Natya Mayuri National Award by the IISER Bengaluru. Gayatri ma'am has very recently published a book, Bharatanatyam Adavas, Fundamental and Structural Principles, which is available on Amazon for purchase. Welcome, Gayatri ma'am, to Annapurna Arts. And first of all, congratulations on the publication of your book. And although we'd love to hear a bit more about it and the motivations behind it, we'd like to start by asking some questions about you and your career. So, first of all, looking back, what would you say are two of the main highlights of your career and your personal achievements? And how do you think that has impacted your dance teaching and how it's changed your views of teaching?
Thank you, Sandhya. And my heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Shantha Rao of Annapurna Indian Dance Institute for giving me this opportunity to talk about my first love, Bharatanatyam. Yes, the two main highlights of my career, which I would call an achievement when I look back now about it. Of course, when you're going through something, you never know whether you're going to achieve it or not. And after a few years, it sinks in within you that, okay, I have done something. The first one is when I was around 22, I was invited for the International Summer Academy of Dancing in Cologne, Germany, to teach and perform. And I was the youngest there, and I was repeatedly later several times invited to perform in Germany, in different cities, and also in Belgium and Holland and Switzerland. In all these places, I have presented my performances to purely European audience. I did not see a single Indian in the audience. So that was a challenge for me, how well I will present my art for them to understand something which they have not seen earlier, and the language of Bharatanatyam they don't know, and it is too complicated for them to understand. So I used to explain, compare each and every dance. I used to explain, showing the gestures, and go back and perform. So it so happened that the tickets were sold 2 or 3 weeks before the performances. And I came to know later that many of them have attended the whole week. It was for 4 or 5 days, and then it got extended because tickets were sold out and people still wanted to see the performance. And at that time I was not overjoyed, but the organizers were overjoyed because they said, "Oh, Gayatri, your tickets are sold out. Do you know?" And I had no answer for that because my worry was for 5 days and 7 days I had to do back to back. So that was my worry, and of course I did it. And from the audience, people would come and tell me that they had tears. I did the same set of performances, and they said that they had tears in their eyes. Even the organizers and the light person who operated the music and other things, all of them said they had tears. At that time, I realized it was the art, the divine art, the sacred art, so ancient, the most ancient I can say, that has impacted them more than the dancer, me as a dancer. So then I thought how beautiful that must have been, the art, as a visual experience, to bring tears in the eyes of foreigners. So that was for me. I realized that beauty of the art later, much later. And then another achievement I can say is my 60th birthday. On my 60th birthday, I wanted to perform with my daughters and my granddaughter. So that was a 3-generation performing during that time. And I was happy that I have fulfilled my parents' desire that I am in the field, seriously. And I had the satisfaction that my daughters are in the field, seriously. And I can see my granddaughter enjoying to learn dance and to sing. So these are all satisfactions. We have many dreams in our life, but we don't know that they will be fulfilled or not. So as you age, when you look back, okay, I have achieved this, I may not have achieved a few more. But this is, one has to be content. Another one, third challenges, which I'm very, very grateful to my parents for compelling me to learn dance and music and Veena all simultaneously. So that gave me a great knowledge, in-depth knowledge in music and dance. This knowledge has helped me over the years to compose music for a lot of dance productions, dance dramas, which we call. So I'm indebted to the training I had in music, dance and Veena also for many years. So I'm grateful for that, and I feel that is a very big, important backbone for Bharatanatyam, and that I can say is one of the highlights.
Absolutely. Wow. It must have been amazing to grow up in such a wholesome environment that nurtures all these different facets of Indian classical arts.
Yes. Even though we know so many aspects of fine art, you have to concentrate on one main thing. The others will support or complement it. But we have to finally concentrate on one.
And that leads nicely on to my second question. You and your parents have obviously dedicated their lives to the propagation and preservation of Bharatanatyam. But in the modern world that we live in, it can be increasingly difficult to preserve these ancient art forms, and that comes with a plethora of challenges. So what do you think are some of the challenges that you face as the Bharatanatyam teacher, and how do you address these challenges, and what do you think it means for the future of the form?
Yes, the challenges is as teacher and student, between me and the students, I don't have much problem. Yeah. But the students, school children of these days, they have a lot of homework. Yeah. And have a lot of assignments to do, and back-to-back exams and tests, and they have to be good at all of them throughout the year to get a good report at the end of the year, and which is very important for their academic career. Yeah. Because of which they are not finding enough time to practice. Yeah. And also many children, because of the desire of the child or also the parents, they learn many other things. Yeah. No, they go to music class, they go to, of course, dance class, and then they want to go for skating class, swimming, and painting class, and so many things. They know many things, but their focus is not on one thing because of these important things, you know. Mm-hmm. We cannot say that is not important. Yeah. We cannot say that is sufficient also. So they have to finally choose what their passion is. That is one thing. About school children, about adults who learn, it is the work. They are working sometimes 6 days, and they are thinking of work on the 7th day, even though it's a holiday. So that is a big challenge for them. In spite of all that, they come to class to learn because it is their passion, without any expectation. Yeah. So that is a big challenge for them. Yes, mentally it gives them a lot of satisfaction, and physically it has given them, they have come out of many physical problems. Yeah. So, and gives them a lot of self-satisfaction in doing something very personal.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're a very strong advocate for using dance as a tool to overcome mental health issues. As you've said, both children and adults can often lead quite a stressful lifestyle, whether that's due to their academics or their work, etc. So you've mentioned that a lot of adults have said that dance has helped them overcome their physical problems, etc. And would you say the same for young children as well?
Yes, children are always very happy to learn. Yeah. You know, they enjoy coming to class. They hardly miss any class. My teaching method is I teach children, I teach adults. Yeah. Any age, and I start from physical exercises. Yeah. For a month or two, they learn exercises, and then they go to adults. So I am ready to teach, or rather I can say I'm happy to teach a newcomer totally, right from exercises to the senior most item. So it is better that they groom completely from the foundation. So I don't believe in just taking, at my age, I don't want to teach the fundamentals. I want to teach only senior students and all that. That is not my way of thinking. I like to teach from the first exercise to the Varnam level.
Another question that I'd like to ask is about the future of Bharatanatyam as a form, and what you think is needed to preserve the practice of the art. With the advent of a lot of kind of fusion styles and non-classical styles gaining popularity, that too, we live in an age of social media where these things are shared quite easily. How do you think this impacts the preservation of classical dance?
Yes, over 40 to 50 years, I can say, a lot of experimental dance, I can call it. Experimental dance has come up. Yeah. But in experimental dance, of course, it is very attractive, and they are also basically trained in classical. Yeah. Before they come into this. where every production of fusion dance or something needs change of costume, and from where the lighting should be, what is the music. They cannot use the same music for another production, all these things. Whereas Bharatanatyam, you can perform with the same costume for 5 years. You can perform the same Varnam or Tilana for 5 years. It will still look fresh. So contemporary also should be there, because there are a set of people with, they get carried away and very impressed by contemporary and fusion dances. Yeah. And there are another set of people who like to watch only pure traditional classical dance. Yeah. So they will always live side by side there. But the only challenge for classical dance is not really performing. When we have live orchestra, the organizing and coordinating with the live orchestra is a major problem. Right. If you say then we have also recorded music, but you want to change something, then you have to adjust the speed, then you have to cut down here and there, technical aspects. Yeah. Every performance is a challenge.
So I'd just like to ask a few questions about your book, Bharatanatyam Adavas, which was, yes, I've just had a look through it, and it's very beautifully and methodically codified all the Bharatanatyam Adavas in a way that's very easy for anyone to understand. Could you tell us a little bit about your motivation behind writing and creating this book, and the process of publishing it?
Okay, until 1960s, there was no idea of writing practical things. We used to write theory about the hastas and what are the 3 major aspects of Bharatanatyam, and the theory aspect we used to write. Yeah. Practical aspect we never wrote. We never thought of writing because we were always in practice. So I used to teach, help my mother in teaching from my teenage time. Later, when I was independent with my classes, at that time I used to write for all the children, thinking that will help them to revise at home. So I used to write in all the students' books. Then I used to write for Americans and foreigners, Mexicans who come to stay with me to learn. I used to write in their books. And then I thought, I don't have a copy of my own. Then I was writing for my own documentation. I started writing. Then I realized it is better to print the book. So I just started writing, and it took about 4.5 years, more than 4.5 years to write the whole thing. And it would definitely help my children and my students and whoever wants to teach, or even practitioners of Bharatanatyam, for any kind of reference, they can refer to this book. Every step, right from exercises, every count of every step is written in detail. And I have also given a few photographs here and there to highlight the steps. Yes, and my student Akash helped me in doing the stick figures. My daughters and granddaughter also helped me in giving it a final touches of editing and some pencil sketches and all that. All the pencil sketches are by my granddaughter. Very nice. And that finally it's come. It took this shape.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, and I have no doubt that it's going to be extremely useful for generations of students.
I hope so. So I thought instead of many things while teaching, and the next generation is taking over the teaching, there's a big chance of missing some movement or having a doubt. And then how to clear the doubt. So that's how I have made into groups and given some pictures here and there.
Wow, very beautiful. Well, yeah, I mean, I think this book is, in fact, a testament to your quest for preserving Bharatanatyam. I mean, you mentioned there were challenges, but I think the fact that you've written it all down in such specific levels of detail, I think anyone who picks it up will be able to hopefully replicate the style in a very authentic way, thanks to the drawings and explanations, etc.
And it's easy to write on a piece of paper, but putting it, in computer was quite a big challenge.
Well, I think that's all we have time for now, and I think we've only just scratched the surface of your career and your thoughts, etc. It would be absolutely lovely to hear more. Just as a sort of parting word, do you have any general advice for young dancers like myself or people who are engaging in classical dance? Do you have any advice for them, how to keep motivated and how to keep going, etc.?
Yes, I would say your academic career has somewhere one limitation, that is you have a retirement age, and after that you need a hobby or something. So whatever is your passion can always become your profession at any point of time. So if you have a passion side by side with your academics, better to continue the passion without a break. So sometime later it might be very useful, and even during the academics at your age it will be very useful, but later on it will be extremely useful where you feel self-satisfaction. So I feel everyone must have a passion and the urge to learn. And when you have the urge to learn, you should be consistent in learning. First, you have to find a proper teacher, and there should be a rapport developed between the teacher and the student. And then you must try to keep that passion and the urge to learn many things, as I told you. Then one day you will realize what has given you the maximum happiness, and you stick to that. So that will be the best, I think.
Beautiful words. Thank you so much. Well, it was an absolute pleasure hearing from you and talking to you. And I sincerely hope that once this pandemic is over, that we'll be able to see you here in the UK, perhaps through a workshop performance or something like that. It would be a real honor for the dance community over here to have you. And thank you very, very much for your time.
Pleasure talking to you. Yeah, and my namaskarams to your mother and also to Mrs. Shantha Rao for giving me this opportunity to talk about, you can go on talking about dance, especially Bharatanatyam or any classical art, but sharing a few thoughts and experiences was a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.